All right, ladies and gentlemen, good Tuesday morning. Welcome aboard the primary live trade brief here at Top Gun Options, day two of our complimentary live trading and training here at Top Gun Options, man. Good stuff. I had a great day yesterday. As of this morning, we have Niner full throttle memberships left. How about Definium yesterday? Did everybody get their long-term bullish position on Definium yesterday? Nice pop in the stock. Had a little pop at the open this morning. Absolutely love it. Good looking trade. In a day, made 2,200 bucks. The bull put spread. If you stayed in it, the sniper yesterday, waiting for the market to turn right now. And probably put another one of those on here in a little bit. We're heading down to 69.50 right now. We'll see if we stop there. Went out of order. I wanted to talk yesterday about the psychedelic sector because of the biospace article that came out. Got a lot of coverage on social media and different areas. So we were in that one right on time. So today we'll do the primary live trade brief. We're going to talk through the defense sector. Yep, we're going to talk about some Raytheon. It's the gift that keeps on giving. We're going to talk about a trade, though, potential trade, right? When I place a trade, folks, it better make some damn money. I don't place a trade unless I think it's going to. A hedge, I don't mind if it loses money. As a matter of fact, I'm happy when a hedge loses money. Now, if you're sitting here new to Top Gun Options going, wait a minute, this guy in a free live trade brief said he doesn't mind losing money. Yeah, that's what a hedge is for. That's like me landing in my F-18 going, I'm really pissed I didn't use this ejection seat today. So a trade is a trade I'm pretty sure is going to make money, and it serves as a hedge to protect my long-term bullish position. So if I feel the spirit, we'll talk about a trade today. But that's what's magical about our live trade briefs is we just shuck and jive. I come up with my flight plan the night before, my brief, and then no good brief, survives the first bullet shot at you by the opening bell. And then tomorrow we're done with full throttle, and we're going to show you solo Amazon. It's a separate service from full throttle. You got to join that on its own. We only trade Amazon, and I move that to tomorrow because Thursday after market close, Amazon, the Death Star, is going to report earnings. So we're going to take a look at a trade tomorrow on Amazon earnings. Replay page you should have. Gave it to you yesterday, but if you didn't watch yesterday's replay, choke yourself. You should have right there. So here's the replay page. I got to be honest with you, man. My AI is insane. You see this graphic? It took 15 seconds. I said, hey, chat, give me a stock market imagery post on Definium and Compass. I'm bullish on it. I need it for a YouTube thumbnail. Do you know that would have taken me $300 through a graphic designer in the old days? My marketing team is not, they're like, who made that graphic for you? I'm like, I did. That's pretty creepy. Look at this one. The full throttle welcome aboard. I uploaded, I'm like, hey, use my Top Gun Options logo, use an F-18 picture that I uploaded. Give me some stock market imagery for the full throttle welcome aboard brief. 15 seconds later, came that. Tell me how that's bullish for people who I used to pay a shitload of money to make these images. I'm telling you, man, AI ultimately will kill all of us. Kind of like, Saturdays, if I'm like hanging out real quick, I just turn on the TV real quick and God forbid The Godfather's on. Oh, and The Godfather 2's on next to it. I'm done. It's a Saturday on the couch. Hunt for Red October is another one of those movies. Ex Machina, right? That is now my official, and The Shawshank Redemption. That's my, like, Ex Machina was on TV the other day. I'm telling you, folks, AI is a horror. It has become self-aware. Did you guys see in the news the other day that these chat bots or AIs made their own like social media platform to complain about humans? I want that to sink in. I briefed Top Gun Options members 11 years ago. There was a Vladimir Putin. He had a bunch of CEOs in the room, right? And he's like, whoever controls AI is going to control the world, and we're going to do it. And if you don't, I'm going to kill all of you in this room. I'm paraphrasing. I'm telling you, folks, this is an absolute horror. We'll talk more about this tomorrow, but AI, Amazon, folks, they are ditching all their warehouse workers. Yeah, they are. They already said by 2030, 500,000 people will be out of work at Amazon. Now it's the white collar. It's the men that wear suits and the ladies that wear slacks or something like that. Right? Thank you, Mitch. Mitch is one of our booger eaters. Exactly. I got it, but I'm summarizing Mitch. Okay. Anyway, I just thought that was pretty funny. And today's image will be the same. I'm going to say, give me a, well, I actually said it last week. Look at this one. I said, give me a, look at that image over there, the Raytheon earnings right there, the Monday market outlook. How did earnings do, Wiz? Crushed it. This is stupid. AI is going to kill all of us. It's going to put people out of work. Who's gonna buy stuff that AI produces or does when you're out of work? A recession is when your neighbor loses their job. A depression is when you lose yours, right? So anyway, make sure you're look at all these cool images. Look at this one down here, this podcast. I'm like, I spoke at Harvard. Let me lift my pinky up when I drink my iced coffee. I spoke at Harvard Law School. I said, give me the Harvard Law School image, podcast episode with a fighter pilot image of me. Boom. Give me a Monday market outlook. This is insane. My marketing lady in the old days. Hey, I need a logo design. Well, we'll go through 3 rounds, and it's like, $500 a round per the graphic designer. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh my God, it's over with. Chat, done. What do I pay? $20 a month. You know what's funny between us girls? I went to cancel AI, Chat GPT, to move over to Claude. And when I went to cancel my $20 a month, that's my Starbucks, right? It's like, whoa, please don't leave. We'll give you a month free. I'm like, okay. I put it on my calendar. What did I do the next month? I went to cancel it. Whoa, please don't leave. You'll give you a month free. Somebody tell me how OpenAI is going to make money. They're not. It's vaporware. It's all a Ponzi scheme. It's a house of cards. Didn't mean to start this brief like this, but that's what I do. I feel the spirit. How did I get on that? Oh, I was sharing the opt-in page. Okay. All right, guys. My portfolio is up about 35% month to date. Men lie, trades don't. I mean, absolute insanity. Definium had a nice pop at the open. Look at that. Yesterday, folks, here's us doing our Definium trade. Boink. Another pop today. Got up to 1862. Did everybody get their Definium trade on? Mine, when we started talking about it yesterday, my Definium trade was up what? I forget, 275%. I'm up 360% right now in that name. Does everybody have it on? I know you do, Mitch. You got everything on. Okay, let's go. SOT we'll do in a second here, but what did I say? 9 full throttle memberships left. They're right here. They're on the replay page, or obviously you can go to the Top Gun Options main page underneath trade groups right here. On the drop down is full throttle. Every one of the ones that went yesterday, I always, there is nothing but truth. We're all annuals, which is awesome. I love it. So Quick reminder, $29.95 for a year. You made $2,200 yesterday morning with a sniper shot. So I paid most of that. That's where everybody went yesterday. That's where 80-90% of our current members are. $497 is to get you into the investment club. This obviously gets you in the investment club. This one gets you in the investment club, but it's a monthly trial. I want to make sure you're, even though I'm getting 3 days free, Wiz, I want to make sure you're not a complete idiot. So that would be the Hunters. Try the Hunters out for a couple months, then upgrade to the annual. This is the ultimate tire kicker. You get the 8 options weapon, nine options weapon school, live training sessions. And then you don't get access to the investment club. Why? Because you're not paying for it. Okay. Skip, Wiz, do you open your full throttle at 8 a.m.? I work in Eastern time, baby. I'm in the great state of Florida. Sometimes I do open the room a little early to kind of show you my pre-flight before a brief planning. So yes, it's 10 a.m. East Coast, but yeah, sometimes I open the room a little early. I usually don't do it during the free full throttle week because whenever I do that, Skip, I get 150 people going, I can't hear anything. And why, they exit, they leave, everybody freaks out. And I have to type really quick, like, whoa, I'm just kind of showing you. So I kind of stopped doing that during the free week. I don't like confusing people like, I can't hear. And people freak out. Any questions on the memberships? Like I said, as soon as we get 9 more, we're done. If that's today, we're done, but I'll still do tomorrow's brief because I promised you. And I'm a nice guy. Any other questions before we get started? Yeah, Joe, this is awesome. I like where we are right now. All right, here we go. SOT, Strategic Operational Tactical. Hey, before I forget, shameless plug, since I didn't talk about it yesterday, go do it right now. I'm not going to move on until everybody does this. You have got to click on this and subscribe right now to the No Fallen Heroes YouTube channel. This is where our I forgot to mention this yesterday when we were talking about psychedelics. No Fallen Heroes, go subscribe. This is awful. I got like 5 at Top Gun Options. We got 1,000 here. Go watch some of these. Obviously, it's the Max Afterburner podcast on Apple Podcast and Spotify. But if you like watching people and seeing veterans and first responders and people debrief their experiences at No Fallen Heroes Foundation or Sacred Warrior Fellowship, please go subscribe right now to the No Fallen Heroes YouTube channel. Thank you, Christina. Robin, yes, everything is recorded. Everything's recorded here at Top Gun Options and put on a member page. But for all the free folks in here, you will click here. Here's this link one more time. This is the replay page. Okay. So as soon as I get done, I'm going to stretch my legs, walk out back, and then come back in and post it right up here. The replay from yesterday will magically move down to here underneath past replays where the welcome aboard brief is. Okay, so yes, everything is recorded. All right, let me just show you on the member site. Here's all our threads right there, but brief replays. Yesterday, I did the primary brief. I click on primary brief, view the replays. And here's yesterday's right at the top. Here's the replay. Here's everything I did in yesterday's brief. And then there's the trade. There's the Definium trade. Boom. So everything is recorded. Here's all the previous ones. Did you get long-term bullish on Raytheon when I told you to? Did you get long-term bullish on JP Morgan? We're going to talk about JP Morgan as well. I did that video the other day. If you, how many of you listened to me right here? Oh, the Friday market wrap up. This Friday market wrap up, JP Morgan, December of 2028, bullish position. Did you watch this Friday market wrap up? If you did, you're already printing money. Let me give you the link to this one. Ladies and gentlemen, well, let's pull up JP Morgan. JPM. What did I tell you? I said at 297.5, it's a, right, we'll go 6 months. There you go. 6 months, ladies and gentlemen, 297.5 right there. 297.5 is a strike. It's an option strike. It was a 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a quadruple bottom, folks. When you see something hit something 4 times and get good bounces, you're an idiot if you don't buy it. So last week, I gave you a free video. I said, buy this with both hands. 297.5. It's up at 315 right now. This sell-off after earnings was a gift. What have I told you? Here's your wisdom. This was earnings. You see the E down there? Buy the rumor, hey, JP Morgan's going to have a great earnings. Sell the news. This ain't hard. And this is why retail traders hate Wall Street. I think JP Morgan's going to have great earnings. I'm going to buy it. And you do. Yay, I was right. It had great earnings. Oh my God, the stock imploded at 20 bucks. What are you, new? Buy the rumor. I think they're going to have great earnings. They did. Sell the news. Now, I'm long-term bullish on JP Morgan years into the future, so I don't touch that trade. The long-term bullish trade is a ship. It's the Abraham Lincoln Battle Group, my old boat off Iran right now. It's sales, baby. I can trade the front month, which I'll show you today. But JP Morgan was a gift. Why am I rambling about this? Because if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, you didn't watch my Friday market wrap-up. Look at that. Long-term bullish. Look at that beautiful image. Grab a picture of me, headshot, JP Morgan, Friday market wrap-up with the Top Gun Options logo. Chat. 30 seconds later, beautiful, cool-looking image. You should have watched that, and you should have listened to me. JP Morgan, let's go look at it. JPM. I want to look at it right here on this chart. There you go. Or 6 month. 297.5. 297.5. Look at that drill bit. You see the drill bit down there? 297.5. 297.5. Boing. And it's up. Oh, holy crap. JP Morgan's up 2% right now. Wow. Joe, I'd like to learn more about those psychedelic microdosing, but at the same time, I'm afraid after years of meds prescribed by so-called doctors, I'm not taking care of my issues. And if anything, believe it is worse than my symptoms. Joe, here's microdosing. These are our sacramental microdoses through Sacred Warrior Fellowship. If you are interested in, you got to be a member of our church to get access to our sacramental microdoses. Shoot me an email, man. Wiz, W-H-I-Z, at topgunoptions.com. And I woke up this morning full of gratitude, knocked out my meditation, took my microdoses. I went to yoga, bumped into Catherine. She's a TGO member. Had a great flow this morning, came home, and I am set for the day, man. 5 days on, 2 days off. All right, enough talking about BS. We got work to do. China Xi Jinping last week clipped a bunch of his close, I guess they weren't that close, buddies. And is really, really, really just in charge of the military. He told these guys years ago, you will be ready to invade Taiwan by 2027. Last time I checked, it's 2026. Trump will have to deal with this. I rarely guarantee things. No, I don't rarely. I do when I know I'm right. I guarantee you in the next, either now, this year, or next year, he will move to take Taiwan back. I don't know if it's going to be a Saving Private Ryan storm in the beaches, although they are building these massive landing craft. Have you seen these things? It isn't Higgins boats Saving Private Ryan. These things are like half a container ship, and boom, might not be that. He might just go cowboys and Indians. He might just circle the island a la Cuba blockade and say nothing in or out and slowly strangle them. What does Trump do? I love Xi, great guy, good backswing. Been to Mar-a-Lago. I love Xi, trust Xi, not going to be a problem. Want to bet? What's going to happen to the VIX, the volatility index, when, not if, Xi takes Taiwan? What's going to happen to the S&P 500? What's going to happen to the United States military if we get involved? According to the war games I briefed you on, over the summer, we lose a carrier. We lose 100,000 United States military service personnel. My son's in the Air Force, Air Guard. We lose Okinawa air bases in Okinawa, Guam. We lose 60, 75 F-35s or whatever. Ugly. Put that on your radar. China is on a strong currency mission to make the yuan, a global reserve. Ladies and gentlemen, China's on a what program? 100-year. We can't even, John Thune can't even pass the SAVE Act. Let's all laugh about the Grammys real quick. I haven't watched the Grammys in 30 years. I mean, maybe when Susie watched Melrose Place, maybe in base housing at Naval Air Station Lemoore, was the last time. These people are insufferable. Billie Eilish, we're on stolen land, and you own more stolen land than all of us. I saw a tweet from a Topanga Indian, like, you're on my land. Your $14 million mansion is on our land. How can we make arrangements to get it back? These people are insufferable. Years ago, it was hands up, don't shoot. Then it was the Ukrainian flags. Then it was the Palestine. Then it was what's the next thing? These people are horrific, and it is Planet Hollywood, man. They live in a fucking bubble. I can't stand these people. No one is illegal. If no one is illegal, it can't be stolen land. Do you people even listen to yourself? Never mind. I'm not even gonna. It's comical. Next year for the Grammys, no IDs required, no security, doors wide open. Oh, I'm old enough to remember my great governor Ron DeSantis flying a bunch of illegal immigrants up to where? Martha's Vineyard. Those people went bananas, and within 24, 48 hours called out the guard and bye, bye, put them on buses. Remember that when they shipped them to Martha's Vineyard and those limousine liberals went, that's perfect. That's exactly what these people do. It's so fun. It's not funny. All right, we got to go. I already talked about this. My boat's on the way. What's he going to do? Apparently, we're having a direct meeting. Jared Kushner, no idea what that dude does. How does the president's son-in-law just get a gig? Has no diplomatic experience. Right? I have more diplomatic experience than some of the people in this administration, but apparently Jared Kushner and the other guy, the other negotiator, are meeting directly with the Iranians, no like talking through the Swiss embassy or something like that. So I'm pretty damn sure, and I think the Journal, I'm not big on regime change, man. I've been part of failed regime changes. Donald Rumsfeld and Paul Wolfowitz, human pieces of excrement. But here's the deal in Iran is regime change. This is an op-ed in the Journal today. Much has happened since June. The time to barter has passed. I love it. Another F-18 in the Wall Street Journal. So, I don't know what's going to happen. But again, we have to brief potential threats. We're going to close the Strait of Hormuz. If you attack us, we're going to put some mines in the water and close global shipping, and oil's going to spike. And it didn't happen last time. But as your flight instructor, I have to brief you on potential threats. It's a potential threat in our strategic part of our brief. Okay, moving on. One of the reasons we had a good run in the stock market yesterday was this. Donald J. Trump trade deal with India cut to 18%. I got to be honest with you. I'm an idiot. I thought this already happened. Like last May when Trump tacoed. Why? Because the bond market was breaking. Even Besant, the Treasury Secretary, behind closed doors said, you got to blink. The bond market's breaking. We're above 5. Bad things are about to happen. And he did. He blinked. I think, what's the trade deal we have? Vietnam? Does anybody remember? I do. I remember the first Trump presidency. The phase, he had 3 dudes, the vice premier and 2 other dudes on stage in the White House. Those poor guys, they thought they were flying to Washington to sign the phase 1 trade deal or whatever it was. Trump had them on stage. He did an hour lap around the room. Yeah, well, before we sign this historic thing that I won. Oh, there's Ken Griffin from Citadel. Ken loves me. Oh, there's the Boeing CEO. Stand up. Yeah, you love me too. It was awful. I don't know what trade deals we have. We get a headline like this. I'm like, where's the ink? There hasn't been, in my opinion, a single trade deal. Maybe like Vietnam or Korea or something. Does anybody know what trade deal? Exactly, Dennis. It's we have an agreement for a framework. That ain't a deal. So anyway, trade the headlines, right? It's good news, Wiz. Okay. Trade the market you have, not the one you want. The market we have is a dove. Kevin Warsh is a dove. Market's going to rip. It's free money. Will Trump break the sophomore slump? Since 1960, every president has had a horrific second year market. Midterms, the initial euphoria is worn off, fill in the blank. Why? Why might Trump buck the trend? I can't believe they called it this. It's comical. The one big beautiful bill. It front loaded a bunch of crack to this year. Going to be big IRS returns. There's some big tax breaks, fill in the blank. We might buck the trend. We might have an up year. We might, I might flip a coin in about 5-10 minutes when we get to trading about whether we're doing a trudge for the next month or so in case we get a little bit of a pullback or a hammer, or do we do a bullish on America trade years into the future? Or you can do both. When you become a member here at Topkin Options, we've had dueling trades on, right? Let's go year and a half. Ladies and gentlemen, we had bullish and bearish double verticals on during this. It was disgusting how much money we made. You can have two trades on. I got one that's going to make money if we're going up or down. In a volatile market, which a lot of you voted for yesterday, have them both on, baby. We're ripping, close it, nice profit. Oh no, my bearish one's underwater. One potato, two potato, slam. Oh, the bearish one's printing money. So maybe we do both. We'll get there, right? So we'll see. Okay, so Fed chief, easy money, sugar high. Do we get a sugar high with Warsh, with a big, beautiful bill? Do we get a sugar high? Does this bull market have room to run? All eyes, in my opinion, are on Amazon earnings. Amazon is a bellwether. Why? Because it's in everything, baby. I'm not going to steal my thunder for tomorrow, but it's everything. It makes its own AI chips cheaper and faster than NVIDIA. It's its own FedEx and UPS. It's its own Netflix. It's its own everything. So I think we're in a holding pattern today, tomorrow, waiting for Amazon, right? To see if we really do have room to run. The financial earnings were fantastic. They sold off. Now they're climbing again. Look at JP Morgan. Look at Goldman Sachs. Look at Morgan Stanley. Now tech. We had Facebook last week. Don't ever call it Meta. Call it Facebook. RIP Microsoft. Hammer. Somebody wrote Microsoft earlier. If you love Microsoft long term, it's a gift down here. U.S. approves new massive arms deals for Israel. And you know what's really funny about some idiots in this country about Ukraine? Ukraine ain't paying for it. We are. It's disgusting the amount of corruption and graft with our tax dollars in Ukraine. It makes my skin crawl. The No Fallen Heroes Foundation gets turned down for a suicide grant from the VA because we're using a Schedule 1 drug. Well, maybe the drugs you're using are killing our veterans, but we're using something that's been used for thousands of years. But yeah, we're the criminals. Israel buys their stuff, man. That's the difference. It's so funny when people wank about stuff. I'm like, we cash their checks. This ain't free. Anyway, so big arms deal with Israel. Raytheon. why Raytheon stock is surging in 26, why it might not be done yet. It ain't done. Let me talk as whiz real quick. I got my cross, and let's talk as whiz with my microdose, my gratitude meditation this morning, and my hot yoga. I want Raytheon to go to zero. I don't want F-35s. I don't want HIMARS. I don't want Patriots, Patriot batteries. I love Patriots. It's a horror. Killing another human, you're killing yourself, man. We are the same. Every molecule and atom in your body is mine. Let there be light. In the 20s, we actually found out that the universe wasn't just this thing. It's doing what? Expanding. And by the way, it's moving away from everything faster than the speed of light. So if it's expanding, Wiz, let's hit the rewind button. It came from a singularly infinite, small, hot point of light. Nothing in your body is not from mine. That you do to the least of my brothers, you do unto me. When you kill somebody in war, you're killing you. I've seen it. I felt this. Rick Doblin, Maps. Watch the Joe Rogan episode from the fall. He's like, I got Hamas veteran or Hamas terrorists, former terrorists, and I got IDF, Israeli Defense Force veterans. Got them on a retreat. He's like, it was almost impossible to do this. They wanted to, a year ago, they would cut each other's heads off. I got them on a retreat. They're best friends after the retreat. They are touring the world right now, giving speeches like, look at us, we healed. The Trump administration, he wanted to bring them to psychedelic science, the big convention in Denver in June. The Trump administration wouldn't give the former Hamas terrorist visas, thereby proving the point that the Trump administration has no idea what they're dealing with. Enough rambling about this. I don't want to be bullish on Raytheon. But as Gordon Gekko said in the movie Wall Street, if you want a friend, get a dog. Shut up, Wiz. I'm here to make money. Then you love all of this. And Raytheon, it will not be done yet. It won't be done until there's peace and there's a 0.01 infinite chance that happens. So we're about to get long-term bullish on Raytheon. Well, we're gonna do some things on Raytheon when we get tactical in a couple minutes. SIBO, Chicago Board Options Exchange. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on one second. Why draw banks? That's where the money is. Chicago Board Options Exchange, folks. I worked in the CBOT. The CBO was next door. Folks, look at this chart. It's a hockey stick. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing moves straight up. It's the options exchange. We just moved, sadly, to the Magnificent Seven stocks having Monday, Wednesday, Friday expirations. Yesterday, I joined the madness. I sold a upside call against my Amazon. Where's my synthetic stock? Analyze. Order ticket. I sold a tomorrow 247.5 call. Right? This is out to tomorrow. Usually weekly options expire on, Fridays. Monthly options expire the third Friday. No, man. SIBO moved to, we're going to daily options, man. I don't want this. Ladies and gentlemen, just like I don't want Raytheon, I don't want SIBO doing this. They're doing it. Now what have they announced? SIBO in talks to bring back all or nothing options to vie with predictions markets. Do you look at Kalshi? Do you look at Polymarket? All these hot things that they're advertising for during the Super Bowl or whatever. Like, the Golden Globes, the you can bet on anything. Did you see somebody had a $40,000 bet that we'd invade Venezuela by the end of that month? That they made 400 grand. They're also being investigated right now. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are not long-term bullish on SIBO, you're an idiot. This is the gift. Holy crap. Here's your commit criteria. Thank God this is in this because I was going to go find the old article. There's Wiz, younger, a little chunkier, more hair in the Chicago Board of Trade or the Chicago Board Options Exchange, man. This is when I was in Chicago. I'm like, oh my God, options are exploding. This is Wiz today. A little more salt and pepper, a little less hair. Anybody see a trend? Even if you're a political science major from South Jersey, like me, that's a trend. It is going straight up. There you go, Arrow. All the smart people got in back years ago when I told you to, and you are printing money. I mean, this is my last call. What's that one? That's up 100. The stock's up 160%. Your options trade's up hundreds of percent. So, ladies and gentlemen, saw this headline about this. Forget about it. Unbelievable. JJ Kinahan and I are buddies. I used to interview him a bunch on the Options News Network. Where's this go? Right to the bottom line. That options contract that I did for tomorrow on Amazon, cha-ching, right to that's revenue that the SIBO would not have gotten had they not done this. So as a matter of fact, I'm going to do this live grouping. I'm going to roll down that call since Amazon is under pressure right now. That call option that I wrote yesterday is up 86%. I'm going to adjust. I'm going to roll down, create order. Why? So I think we're seeing a little sell the news in Amazon right now. That's all right. I'm going to roll it down for tomorrow to the 242.5. See how this works? I buy to close the 247.5 that I sold out to tomorrow, and I'm taking some money off the table, that 86% profit. Now I'm gonna roll it down right there. Okay. I'm gonna sell to open the 242.5 for 72. There we go. And I'm filled. So making $200 doing nothing. Isn't that awesome? Let me put this back together, grouping. So if you did that short call yesterday, you can follow me. You can do whatever you want. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just showing you what I am doing. So there's my long-term bullish synthetic stock on Amazon. Joe, I heard the same thing, man. Hate's a strong word. I hate that. I used to make fun of the Bitcoin people. Like, you're waking up at 3 a.m. to look at your phone at the price of Bitcoin. You suck. I will not do that. I won't trade those type of things, man. I will go super conservative. I'm not doing that. Wow, look at let me show you something real quick, folks. I know I'm a little scattered right now. Folks, Definium Therapeutics is down 1% right now. It's down 20 cents. Can somebody tell me why I'm up $1,000 today? That position's up 361%. Does that make sense to anybody? Current members, you're not allowed to answer. I'm not going to wait for you to type a bunch of stuff because, ladies and gentlemen, there are seven things that go into the price of an option. I used to be able to rattle them off. I'm old. What are the 6, 7, 8 things, however many, that go into determining the price of an options contract? You know what one of them is? Only one of them? The price of the underlying. 6. Damn it. I used to know that. So, ladies and gentlemen, what determines an options price? The underlying. Well, Definium's down a little bit today, Wiz. We're not done. The strike price, time to expiration, implied vol, and the risk-free interest rate and any expected dividends. Right? Now, Not in the textbooks. It was 7 or 8. I was right. Supply and demand, order flow. And also, so ladies and gentlemen, 90% of an options price movement comes from time decay, implied vol changes, and obviously the stock price. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're confused right now, like, hey, the stock's down a little bit, but my options is crushing it right now. Now you know why. The price of the option, the price of the underlying, the stock is it's one of the factors. Does everybody understand that? So something's going on in what? Here's my current options position. There's stuff going on in here. You got that? I just wanted to be clear because sometimes people are like, hey, and the opposite can be happening too. I've seen that before too. Definium's up, 3% right now. My options position's getting hammered. Use your brain. All right. But SIBO, I might have to audible right now because I forgot I was briefing you on how awesome SIBO is. You have got to get long-term bullish on the Chicago Board Options Exchange. You're a fool if you don't. It's where the money is. Already talked Amazon. What's all this stuff? Oh, psychedelics. We did that stuff yesterday. Any questions before I move on and we get tactical, right? SOT. Went way too long. SO, the strategic and operational parts of the brief are usually 20 minutes, 25 minutes max. Had to do a little intro, some full throttle stuff, but now I'm ready to go. Anything before we get airborne? Raytheon. You've got to buy it. Do a long-term bullish synthetic stock trade on Raytheon. What's the current price? 202. I think I sold the 202 and a half out to tomorrow, right? Where's my Raytheon? Analyze. Yeah, I sold the 202 and a half out to tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's at 202.46. What did I tell you? I will not let Raytheon expire above 202 and with these calls. I'll close them, right? I'll sit on them for now. There's theta. There's time decay whenever you sell something. But for now, this trade is okay with me. Out to tomorrow. To Friday, not tomorrow. I'm sorry about that. I don't want Raytheon having Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But here's what I want to talk about with Raytheon. Anybody see anything on your chart right now? I do. I see a trade. We are doing what right now with Raytheon? We are in a range. If you don't look at this chart and go, there's a trade on there, some of you might have said, oh, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, up. I don't know what to do. Do I get bullish or do I get bearish? Stop? That is the trade. I'm going to show you a tactic right now. I'm going to start doing a better job trading the front month in Raytheon and making some money to help pay for what? My long-term bullish synthetic stock. Folks, this trade has been on a month and a half. It's up 52% in Raytheon. I did synthetic stock at 185. It was right back here, right around here. There's the earnings. The earnings were filthy. They were awesome. They beat top, they beat bottom, they gave positive forward guidance. That is the winner chicken dinner. Beat top and bottom, good guidance. They can't meet the orders they got. There's your commit criteria. So you joined me yesterday. You saw me do a synthetic stock position on Definium. It's the exact same tactic. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to cover something else. But right now, folks, get long-term bullish on Raytheon, period. You can go all the way out to, you can go out a year further than me. Go out to Jan of 2028 and do that. Everybody look at what Jeff just wrote. Jeff, what's your time frame, please? Ladies and gentlemen, look what Jeff just wrote. If you got long-term bullish on Raytheon, sadly, if you were smart enough, you didn't have a soul. No, that's not fair. I could have done both. I have a soul and I could have done this. Okay. When did you put it on is what I'm asking. When did you initiate that position? Because I want to give people an idea about the difference. You know, my buddies John and Pete Nigerian, if you watch CNBC, did you see the return in the stock or did you see the return in the option? Trading options isn't, what is it? Isn't, you should. It's not an option. Order our free book. Mitch is only up 311%. Folks, what I'm getting at right now is look, if you bought Raytheon the day after the Israel invasion, you're up, whatever that was. I just told you what it was. What is it? 190. No, let me move that line up. Whatever. It's 200%. That I can't grab that and move it up. Let me try this. Yes, that. Okay, man. Delete. Let me just try and get an exact. It's not going to be super exact because I'm going to have to grab, and it did that. I knew it was going to do that. Close enough for government work. Okay, 200%. Oh my God. Hey, everybody look at our current members. If you're here, if you're a freebie, look at this. Raytheon, 430%. He did it in July. Look at Dwayne. Look at David, 900% since March. Holy, I'm grabbing screenshots, guys. You guys just made my marketing email today. Love you. Oh, and by the way, look at this. Thank you. So let me save these. RTX. You guys are awesome. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's my point. If you haven't, now I feel like the Sith Lord. Feel the power of this fully operational Death Star. Feel the power of synthetic stock over stock. These people aren't up 197%. Some of these people are up 900% in under a year. Look at David. Holy crap. I'm grabbing these two as well. Bruce and David. Thank you. So ladies, and again, because somebody said, Wiz, did I miss it? No, but they were asking about Definium or something yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, what part of Raytheon ain't stopping, sadly, or not? Enough. I gotta trade the front month here. Nope, no Microsoft for me. I don't need Microsoft. I have Amazon. Why would you put Azure and ads and if you're an Amazon, you don't need Microsoft. I'm not a Microsofter. I was years ago. Look at Brent. My CBOE synthetic stock out to Jan 28 I put on yesterday is up 27%. All right, guys and gals, let's do Raytheon range-bound tactic. Now, I'm going to step you through how I do this. Get a fresh kneeboard card so I can start writing some things down. I'm going to put on this trade's potentially going to make money if Raytheon stays in a range. I don't know if it's going to go up. I don't know if it's going to go down. I'm planning on it to stay in a range. This is a good run though, man. This is a solid run. There we go. That's a better look. See up here, solid run. And let's go out to next Friday, right? And I start by looking at the money straddle. I covered this yesterday. What's the options market telling me out to next Friday? It thinks Raytheon's going to stay between. That's $8. Double it is 16. So not Wiz, the options market, the top of this Elizabeth Warren teepee is saying it's going to stay below let's round up, 211. And above, we'll round up 195. So I'm going to start there. I looked at the options pricing. Now we're going to go look at the chart. Where is 195? 195, let me drop a line down there. 195 is right there. Okay. 211, it's never seen 211. That would be a record high. Look at the 52-week price year to date. Or no, 52. It's never been, the highest is 205.36, folks. So Raytheon kind of looks range bound for the past week, although this is a little bit of a tear. Let me remind you of a whizzism. When something's on a tear, either join it, bullish, or get out of the way. Okay? So, warning Will Robinson. If this thing keeps on a tear, I'm going to have to get out of the roof. What do you mean the roof? Let's build a range-bound trade together. Let's start with the basement, right? The basement that the options market, not Wiz, was saying was 195 down here. Okay. So let's put a basement out the next Friday at 195. I'm going to build something and I'll talk you through it. Okay. Now, I told you yesterday, when you buy a put, you're bearish. I'm going to buy puts. I think something's going to implode. You buy a put. When you sell a put, you're bullish. I don't think it's going to go below 195. So I'm going to sell a next Friday 195 put. That's me saying I believe by next Friday, Raytheon doesn't go below 195. I'm selling that put. Wiz, what if you're wrong? Jesus comes back and declares peace on earth and Raytheon goes to zero. Well, I'd love that, but not for my Raytheon position. I'm going to buy what we call a downside put underneath it, right? So remember, when you sell something, you get paid to do it. This is a credit spread. So I'm bullish on Raytheon. I'm using puts and it's a spread. This tactic on your screen right now is called a bull put spread. It's also called a credit spread. So some of you, as you started thinking about learning to trade options, you're like, wait a minute, they call these things 3 different names. I tend to stick with what it is. I'm bullish on Raytheon. I don't think it's going to go down, at least. I'm using puts and it's a spread. Bull put spread is the name of this tactic. It's also a credit spread since I'm getting paid to do it. Got it? Good. Now, on your screen right now, we're getting paid 47 cents. I want you to write that down on your trade plan and double it, right? What's that? 94 cents. You write down, maybe eject 94 cents. What does that mean? Ladies and gentlemen, we got paid to do this thing. I want that 47 cents. If Raytheon in the next week and a half starts to roll over and go down, that credit's going to increase, and we don't want that. I want 47 cents to go to zero. I don't want it to go up. If it starts approaching 94 cents, I'm a political science major, folks. South Jersey, I'm an aviator. I need basic if this, then that. If it hits 94 cents, that means Raytheon's rolling over for some reason. I wrote down maybe eject. Should I get out of Raytheon? Did it just pull? It had some bad news today. It dropped real quick, but I think we're going to be okay. I don't know. You're the tick. You're the trader in command, not me. But I wrote down in this, but we haven't even placed this trade yet. And I'm talking about where I might get out if needed. Haven't even placed it yet. Talking about where I might get out. Write that down. Now, I'm going to click on Analyze, and I'm going to show you the only place to look first. The angry face, the sad face. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Max potential loss. Oh, I looked up here first, and you failed. Do not ever look up here first. Why? Are you okay with losing $203? God, no. Then don't look here. Yeah, but I want to make 47 bucks. Who doesn't? Are you willing to risk this? No. Then don't look there first. You always look at max potential loss. And since you're the tick, the trader in command, you need to go, all right, max potential losses in this trade is 203 bucks. I, as the trader in command, I sign for my jet, I sign for my portfolio, check. I acknowledge my risk. Now you can bring your eyes up here and go, oh, okay. If you're not okay with the risk, don't do the damn trade. Do you understand me? Yes or no? Okay. So, now, since I've been talking to you, Raytheon's been rallying. So this trade, let me put the chart up in the background. It's rallying. See, as I'm talking, what did I say? When something's on a tear, either join or get out of the way. So I'm going to have to roll the strikes up. It's running away from me, right? So the 97.5, 95 would be the bull put spread, right? Because look, let's zoom in a little bit. As I'm talking about it, people are getting, this is a tear. So maybe we just put on the bull put spread for now and not the roof, because the roof I love this live. This is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, the tactic I was about to show you that I'm not is called an iron condor. It's a range bound trade. And the wizism that I'm going to lay on you right now is iron condors are great until they're not. If the underlying Raytheon blows out of the top of the iron condor, that's a trend. It's going up. So this is why we do live trade breaks. So I'm going to audible. We're doing a bull put spread. If between now and next Friday, Raytheon peaks and hovers, then I can do what's called legging into. I would leg into the iron condor, which is a range bound trade. It ain't range bound right now. It's starting to run. I'm doing this one. Okay. I'm risking 142 to make 108. Using at the money volatility in these options, there's a 63% probability of that happening. There's a 27%, not insignificant, of getting your rear end handed to you. But you should not take the max loss. Why? Because we wrote down the maybe eject, which changed. Double this credit. 105, write down 210. Maybe eject 210. And Raytheon is moving around a lot right now. Let me put the chart up in the background to show you what I'm looking at. See, you can actually see the pricing changing here as this stuff happens. We're ripping, and we'll probably stop right there. Okay. So this is the trade I would do right now on Raytheon. I'd sell the 200 put. I'd buy the 197.5, 88 cents. Double the credit you take in is where you'd write down maybe eject. Now let's dig into this. Wiz, you haven't talked about profit yet. Now I will. In a bull put spread, a credit spread, we make money 3 out of 4 ways. Let me step you through that. You see the dotted line? That's currently the price of Raytheon. How do we make money? Raytheon goes up. Cha-ching. Raytheon hangs. Wiz, it just hovered for the week and a half. Cha-ching. Raytheon can even go down, ladies and gentlemen, as long as it stays above that point, which is called what? The break even. Raytheon can go down to 199.12 and we make money. We make money 3 out of 4 ways. Now, what's the 1 out of 4 ways we don't make money? We fall asleep between now and next Friday and it blows through the break even and goes lower. If you fall asleep between now and next Friday, you deserve to take the max loss. That's why you can put in a stop loss or an order or all sorts of stuff like that. Okay. You ready for this? 7, 8, 9. What's that mean? If I am looking at a 70 or 80 or 90% profit on the credit that I took in, I close it. Pigs get slaughtered. Do not be the moron who goes, you know what? I'm up 90% in my bull put spread on Raytheon. There's $5 left to make. I'm going golfing. It's going to expire, and I want that extra little percentage. Guess what's going to happen? More often than not, you'll get that. And then the one time you're going to get destroyed. Do not turn a 70, 80, 90% winning trade into a 100% loser. You're looking at a guy, I haven't done that in decades, but you're looking to a guy early in his options career was that big. I'm up 92% in this trade. I want that last $100. Golfing. Breaking news, Jesus just came back to the planet and all the defense companies are at zero. It'll happen. Well, Jesus has returned, but you know what I'm getting at. Do not do this. Derek, look at your Robinhood trade. Mirel, absolutely not. Can't stand PayPal, want nothing to do with it. Look, okay, well, look at this, folks. If you had put on the bull put spread when I started talking about this trade, you'd be up, what's that, 50%. All right, well, Raytheon's running away from me right now during my brief. I love showing you live. Look at this. And this might actually be TGO members moving this, folks. So now we hit what? We hit all the way up here at 203, man. Wow. And that's not an option strike. So let me actually get rid of that line. We'd have to go up to 202 and a half. Let me zoom out a little bit here. The next, so here's strikes 20. Yeah, it's 200, 202 and a half, and 205 would be up here. Let me drop that line. Well, so you watched live a trade running away from me. If you guys, this is awesome. Here's today us talking about Raytheon and it runs. It's broken out of the range, folks. What I expect to happen, let's watch it. It's probably going to come back and test this 202 and a half. We'll see. Well, I guess I shouldn't have talked about that, or I should have led with that. Anyway, so I was going to do but that's a perfect conversation live of, hey man, if something's on a tear, get out of the way. I'd wait for the turn if there is a turn. I mean, stuff doesn't go up forever. I'd wait for the turn here and nope. So now I have to keep an eye on my short call, right? My 202 and a halves are underwater right now, right? My cost basis was 96 cents, double the credit that I take in. That is at 322 right now. So these short calls are at my eject point. So here's what Wiz is going to do live. I'm going to adjust. I'm going to roll these up, man. I'm going to roll up, create order. I'm going to roll them up to the 205 strike. Everybody see this? Doing this live. I'm buying to close the 202 and a half calls, selling to open a new position up at 205. For whatever reason, man, we're running in Raytheon right now. And I love it because my underlying position is printing money, the synthetic stock. I love doing this stuff. I'm glad all of this is going on live. And I got my eye over here on this screen on a potential sniper for the S&P 500. I'm going to put in an order just at $1.40 because I think it is going to kind of, well, that was quick. Got filled immediately on that. Grouping. Let me put these back together. Since it ran away from the bull put spread, let's go take a look if you want to. I mean, folks, when we started this brief, what did I tell you? My Raytheon synthetic stock was up 51% in a month. It made 10% in this brief. 10%. My synthetic stock trade made 10% in this brief as the stock went up what? 1.5%. Why would you ever trade stocks ever again in your life? My options position went up 10% in the brief as the stock went up 1.5%. That's the power of this fully operational Death Star. Look at Raytheon. Any new? Am I missing something? Let's go look for news. Maybe I'll show you the synthetic stock. Does anybody want to see that instead? I mean, mean, that's kind of, I mean, that's obviously good news, but is it enough to get that? Anybody, Martin wants to see one. Anybody want a synthetic stock on Raytheon? I mean, I can rip it real quick. It's got to be more than one person. All right. All right. Well, here we go. Here we go, folks. Buckle up. Let me do this quick because I had other stuff I wanted to do. Now we're going to go out to Jan 20. Look at Matt. I love this, folks. Look at what Matt just wrote. I'm up 33% in the 10 minutes on that bull put spread. So smart people like Matt or existing TGO members, when I started covering the initial bull put spread, put that one on and they're already printing money. The initial bull put spread that I covered is probably up 50% right now. Here we go. Synthetic stock. I did mine all the way down there, but we're at 204. There is no 204 strike, is there, folks? So look down here. We are going bullish 717 days into the future. There is no 204 strike. There's a 200. There's a 210. Tie goes to the runner. I'll go in the money with the 200 strike. I'm going to sell the 200 put. Well, let's just do this real quick. Wiz, I love Raytheon. You convinced me. I'm going to buy 100 shares of Raytheon right now. Awesome for you. You're an idiot. Why would you spend, remember this, $20,400? Does anybody want to spend 20 grand? Or you could buy one options contract for 30, let's round up, 4 grand. I just saved you $16,000. Buying a single call option allows you to control 100 shares of Raytheon 717 days into the future. Why would you buy the stock? You should not. I'm not done. I'm going to sell the 200 put. Would you rather spend $20,400? Would you rather spend $4,000? Would you rather spend $1,200? Ladies and gentlemen, synthetic stock on your screen. Whoa, Wiz, I'm risking 20 grand, 21 grand. You're risking the same as if you bought the 100 shares, genius. The odds of Raytheon going to zero in 717 days is never zero. The odds of getting eaten by a golden retriever are never zero. They're insignificant, but I don't care about insignificant. I'm going to put on what I call a disaster put or a protective put. Excuse me, 20% underneath the current stock price. What's that? 20 and 20 is 40, right? What's that? 160. The disaster put I would buy is the 160. It's 40. It's $40 or 20% under the current stock price. Now, the price of the trade went up because I bought some insurance. The cost of the trade now is $2,400. Buying 100 shares was $20,400. I saved you 18 grand. You're welcome. With that 18 grand, you're going to join Full Throttle in a couple minutes. Now, the risk ain't 21 grand anymore, folks. It's $6,400. Right? The odds of that happening, it ain't going to happen. I'm not done yet. I'm cheap. I'm going to have somebody else help pay for this trade. I'm going to sell what I just showed you, the 205 call out to Friday. What did it do, folks? I'm bringing in $195. It lowered my cost basis even more. Isn't this awesome? I enjoy, I need to get out more, but I enjoy this. I love this. Raytheon keeps moving up and to the right. Look at, holy crap. There's the turn. Jesus. I love it, man. My synthetic stock position up 10% in this brief. Live. I'm going to grab screenshots of this so I can blast it out to my current members. Take a screenshot there. What's today's date? The 3rd. RTX 23. Going to grab a screenshot of the risk in the trade. Now, some of you might be like, wait a minute, $279 is all I can make. That's the max profit on the short call out to Friday. Your max profit in this trade, folks, is Buzz Lightyear. It's to infinity and beyond. This is the same as being long-term bullish on the stock. Does everybody understand that? Ignore this right here. That's not true. That's your max potential profit on the short call you sold out the Friday. This trade, this tactic, folks, is called synthetic stock with a protective put. Okay, Stephanie? And William, now I'm going to show you what we do. I'm going to go to the hunters. You can join the hunters today. Okay, and look, I posted this yesterday. Hey, I sold these weekly short calls to Raytheon. We're going to put this trade in here. New RTX, Jan 28, long-term bullish synthetic stock, and short call adjustments. I'm going to at everyone, so everybody in the hunters and my lifetime group get this alert. I'm going to click on the image. Raytheon. I put both those images. Oh, wait, let me go grab the short call, the adjustments I've done. Now, remember, folks, I already have this position on. I'm not adding this right now. If you're adding this, you're in a different trade than mine. Mine's down at 185. So let me save short calls. I'm going to add this to this trade alert. Okay. Let me add that right here to these images. And folks, the old days used to be email alert. Then 2015 came along and it's like, wait, we can send text alerts now. It has to be under 140, 160 characters. Now we got an app, baby. We got instantaneous app alerts. So I adjusted let me write it like this. I rolled my RTX calls up and Amazon calls down. Amazon calls are for tomorrow. The Wednesday expiration. Boom. Publish post right in there. 1 potato, 2 potato. There's the buzz. There's the alert on the application. Who's over here in the Q&A? Folks, don't use the question and answer, man. You should be over in a chat box. There should be a chat box over here. Some Parmars over here and a couple people over here in Q&A. I didn't even know to look over here. Go in the chat. You should see chat, not Q&A. Do you have to buy it back if it's above 205? You're talking about Raytheon. Ladies and gentlemen, let me give you the warning, Will Robinson, one more time. Let me show you. Look at Raytheon, man. It hovered. It might rip to 205. Run, baby, run, Forrest. Ladies and gentlemen, let me open my Raytheon trade here. Analyze right here. Do not let Raytheon expire Friday above 205 with you short this call. Let me review what will happen to you. Saturday morning in your robe and your bunny slippers with your cup of coffee, if you don't have remember, folks, sellers have obligations. I sold my house. I'm obligated to deliver the keys. I sold one contract at 205 that expires Friday. If it expires Friday, 205 or above, Saturday morning, E-Trade's going to come into my account and say, hey, man, you're responsible to deliver 100 shares of Raytheon. Oh, wait, Wiz doesn't have 100 shares of Raytheon anywhere in his account. We're going to go borrow it from somebody. And now Wiz is what? Negative, which means short. I am negative 100 shares of Raytheon in my account. If you want to be short 100 shares of Raytheon, that's up to you. You don't, or I don't. How about that? Long answer to your short question, Parmar. Yes, close these calls. Ladies and gentlemen, I treat a short call like a bear call spread. When do I close it for profit? 7, 8, 9. When do I eject from it? Double the credit I took in. It's the same thing as a bear call spread or a bull put spread, folks. Any questions? Parmar, does that answer that? Right? Do not. I answered that live. Jose Fina, you're also in the Q&A after I said go over to the chat. I'd like to do at least the Raytheon Long and one other, Amazon or SIBO, but can't afford synthetic. Can I do 1-year options for one or both? Absolutely. First of all, you can do whatever you want. If going way far out in time is expensive, do something else. Ladies and gentlemen, now look at Definium. If you did the trade I covered yesterday, you're up $1,300 today. $2,200 with a S&P 500 bull put spread yesterday. $1,300 today in Definium. What's that? $4,500. There you go. There's a year and a half of full throttle training paid for. Absolute. Holy shit! It's 11:16. I blew right. And again, folks, I don't do this, man. I have an hour rear end. That's why I hated flying the F-18, man. I had an hour rear end. The longest flight in the Hornet for me, 8 hours, 8.5 hours. Awful. It ain't an airline seat, folks. You can't sit on a cushion. There is no cushion. It's got to be a hard seat. Why? Because if there's a cushion and you have to eject, it's called seat slap. That ejection seat fires at 40 Gs instantaneously. If there's any cushion, it'll fill that space instantaneously and break both your femurs, and you will bleed to death. God really hates you if you have to eject from your plane and you break both your legs. 9 hours. Oh, Arrow. Arrow knows the pain. Those seats are not comfortable, folks. That sucks. Good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Man, well, you know what? No, we're not. I was just going to say I'm going to move the S&P 500 trudge to tomorrow. I'm not. You're done. You can join, and I'll give it to you. Tomorrow is going to be solo Amazon. Amazon's, I think, doing a little sell the news right now. Let's go look at Amazon. So we got earnings coming up. And anybody see a trend here? Bounce up, bounce up. But ladies and gentlemen, this was filthy earnings. By the rumors, we're gonna wait. We're gonna sell off and wait until boom, 6 Sigma. I forget Sigma. Earnings blowout last time, and then an AI freak out. If we didn't get this AI freak out, Amazon would be at 275 right now. So tomorrow I am going to cover Amazon. Absolutely Amazon. Just did a discovery flight and a Cessna for your birthday. Awesome, Tony. Happy birthday. Matt, this was an enlightening session. I don't think in 16 years of Top Gun options I've heard the word enlightening. I hope that's a good thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that was 2. So we have 7. I got a special alert for when people join the squadron. 2 people, congratulations, joined during this brief. So I guess maybe that was the enlightening comment. So we have 7 full throttle memberships left. I'm the only guy who does this, man. Everybody else is going to charge you for a week of access. This was free. Tomorrow is solo Amazon. It ain't part of this. It's not full throttle. So there is the link to join. In 2 days, I've paid for a year and a half with an S&P 500 Sniper and Definium. Let alone, you just saw current TGO members ripple off their Raytheon earnings, profits. Who was the highest? 900%. There was 300s, there was 600s, there was 900s. Could you imagine making 900% return in a name? Imagine being at your next cocktail party like, I'm up 900% in this name. This is what we do here at Top Gun Option. Exactly, John. John, if they think this is enlightening, wait for a rant. I haven't had a good rant. I'm keeping myself centered during this full throttle. So do the annual, folks. I already paid for a year and a half of it, or I paid for what's that? 8, 9 months of the hunters. It's cheaper to do the annual, folks. If you want to keep kicking the tires in full throttle, it's $295. You don't get access to the hunters, the app, the trade alert that I just sent out right here. You're not paying for it. Pay for it. Okay. The replay will be posted on this page shortly. One more time, there's the replay page. If you didn't get the Definium trade yesterday or the Compass trade, watch the replay from yesterday. If you didn't watch the welcome aboard brief, choke yourself. You had to, that was a requirement. Watch that too. Any questions on this? Maybe skip your Maverick Mind for a day or two. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're interested in sacramental microdoses, remember the Maverick Mind. Let me do that real quick. If you guys are interested in microdosing, okay, here's the link. Well, not only that, but if you want the coolest merch on the planet that goes to help fund healing retreats, it's right here. There's a sun hoodie. Here's our psychedelic fighter pilot. That's the OG hat, man. AJ Buckley wore that hat on the last season of SEAL Team. Sonny got to wear a hat each season. He's on our advisory board. I took him flying in the L-39. There's that merch. But if you're interested in microdosing, folks, we have day and night products, right? That's to help you sleep, the night trap, and then we have day. Years ago, I told you that this day would come. These microdoses do not have psilocybin in them. They can't. That would be illegal with these, right? So let me give you that link. I'm going to tell you that Richard Nixon and his other idiots that did the initial war on drugs, like this fungus is illegal. They didn't do the research and look into a bunch of the other mushroom strains. We kind of kept that quiet. So you don't necessarily need psilocybin to get the benefits of microdosing. We have a reishi, lion's mane, turkey tail. We got these formulations are fantastic. Now, as many of you know, we started Sacred Warrior Fellowship. We are an entheogenic, faith-based community down here in Florida. We got a retreat coming up in 2 weeks. If you're interested in maybe sitting in ceremony with us, reach out. But these are sacramental microdoses. These have a portion, 250 milligram, of the sacrament of psilocybin. You have to join the church. We gotta, even though the First Amendment says Congress shall make no law and this and that, there ain't no gray. It's black or white. I don't need Uncle Sam breathing down my neck. You have to join the church, and then you can have access to these sacramental microdoses, which do contain a portion of the sacrament. Joe, ayahuasca is an incredibly powerful sacrament. Bruce, 0.0 infinite chance. They do not, first of all, to mushrooms, well, if you're asking about the microdose, there's a 0% chance. Ladies and gentlemen, remember the term, this is a subperceptual dose of the sacrament. What does subperceptual mean? You don't feel anything. You know how I know my microdose is working? God forbid I have to get on I-95 either in the morning or the afternoon in South Florida. Old Wiz, stuck in the I-95 parking lot at 3 in the afternoon, wanted to get on the hood of my car with a high-powered rifle. Now, if I'm stuck there, I go, I don't want to take a high-powered rifle and kill everybody. That's how I know my microdose is working. So, long answer, short question. Subperceptual means you shouldn't feel anything. I mean, a little heightened sense of, yeah, euphoria type of stuff or something like that. So, first of all, uh, mushrooms, if you did a heroic dose, if you join us in ceremony in a couple weekends, a heroic dose, 4 to 5 grams. Uh, Psilocybin is processed by your body very quickly. It's out of your system, and by the time you land from your airline flight, right? It's hours. It's 24 at most. Having said that, if you did a retreat, a heroic dose, and somebody wanted to drug test you within 24 hours, it's a 16 panel test. Ain't nobody spending the money for a 16 panel test. No employers I know or anything like that. Although the idiot Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, did announce that they might look into trying to test for mushrooms now. But first, it would have to be within 24 hours of most people who do these retreats take a day off or two of work anyway. I didn't think we were going to talk about all this stuff, but spirit moves me. Exactly, Celia. The 405. I lived in Orange County. Susie and I lived in Irvine. I'm old enough that I flew out of El Toro Marine Corps Air Station. Joe, well, microdosing is never dangerous unless you're taking a. Remember, folks, use the right terminology. Microdose. Guess what? 4 to 5 grams is. That we call it a heroic dose, a macro dose, right? So there are levels of dosage. Micro means infinitesimal, right? So, is there a part to be a local membership in Central? Joe, our fellowship is up in Fort Pierce. So if you're in Central Florida, you're close to Fort Pierce, right? We do our retreats up at our temple in Fort Pierce. So we have people from all around the country joining us. They fly in, or we have people from all around Florida. They drive in. So yeah, we'd love if you're interested. Our next ceremony, let's go to the retreat page. Retreat. When's the February one? February 20, 21, 22 is our next retreat. If you're interested, let me give you just email Susie. My beautiful bride takes care of the retreat. Susie at nofallenheroes.com. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a veteran, first responder, or family member, we can hook you up by advancing you a grant and all sorts of stuff like that if needed. If you're a civilian, you're welcome in ceremony at Sacred Warrior Fellowship too. But quick reminder, if you would like to, in order to have access to sacramental microdoses, you got to be a church member. You have got to partake in the things that we do as an entheogenic fellowship. And trust me, there's no way in hell 6 years ago Wiz would have ever thought, first of all, I'd be doing any of this. And a year ago, Wiz, I would have started my own church. Ladies and gentlemen, this was without a doubt the most spiritual thing I've ever done in my existence after being a terrified young Catholic kid. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you have episode 7 of the Max Afterburner podcast is my first debrief with the sacrament. I listen to this every once in a while, and it still makes me cry in a good way. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is my first debrief with the sacrament, with Marcus Luttrell, with Robert Gallery, NFL guy, with Jared Taylor, JT from Black Rifle Coffee. This is awesome. Okay. Paul, we have, there's a saying in this work, set and setting. What's your mindset going into the sacrament and where are you doing it? We have a beautiful retreat center. Folks, if you want to take a look at where we do our ceremonies, I'll show you. A couple things. Where's our retreat center? here. There you go. If you want to see what it looks like, it's right here. With a woman in the 60s. Well, that actually doesn't sound like such a bad, that sounds like a perfect place to be, man. So you can go take a look at the beautiful retreat center we have, our temple. And oh, by the way, you're probably freezing your rear end off in the vast majority of the country right now. And, there's our temple space. Make sure if you're interested in any of this stuff, you are go to our sacred. No snipe today, man. We're hugging around the 69. Trust me, I'm watching it, 69.25. But I'd rather talk about this. Remember, man, if you need to make money, I want to make money, it's coming from a place of lack. Go on Instagram and follow Sacred Warrior Fellowship. You can see all the retreats. Here's the last one, man. This was one of our larger ones. This was just absolutely so special. There's our stewards. That's my beautiful bride. That's a beautiful veteran staring at his family and was whispering, I have everything. I have everything. Just so beautiful, man. I love doing this work. I love people showing up Friday, little nerve sighted and little, we call it nervous and excited. And Sunday, when everybody leaves, people are crying. We take before and after pictures. Man, people look different. They look lighter. It's just so cool. So I don't know how we got talking about any of this, but yeah, if you like the merch, it's getmaverickmind.com. Order some merch. There's a coin. If you go on ceremony, I will hand you a coin after ceremony, man. You earn that challenge coin. If you're not up for the psilocybin microdoses, they're right here. If you're up for sacramental microdoses, you got to join our church, and then you can have access to them. And we'd love to have you join us in ceremony. But if this just hit you like, I have no idea what the hell this guy's talking about, Max Afterburner episode 7, Healed by the Light. Wiz attempts to put words to the indescribable and how for the first time in decades, he healed from the pain and trauma in his life. If you're sitting in traffic, you're going to work out, go listen to episode 7. We weren't doing video podcasts back then. We are now. So I'm going to do every May 20th. That's my rebirth day. This May 20th, I'll do a new one, just documenting how far I've come since then. It's been incredible. It's saved and changed my life. So, Dave, we grow our sacrament with love and intention and all sorts of stuff. How did I come up with the idea of the church? I didn't. God did. I remember sitting in meditation last summer, and it came to me. I remember being a terrified Catholic child, altar boy, and being told that when the priest does this, that wafer and that glass of wine actually, not represent, listen to me, actually become blood and body of Jesus Christ through a process called transubstantiation. Now, if you're not a Catholic, you might be like, it represents the body and blood of Jesus. You're wrong. Catholics believe it is the actual. And I'm sitting here going, these were sacraments. Just like that communion, these were sacraments. And David started doing a little research. There's about 500, last count, entheogenic churches in the United States. I'm glad you asked, because Thursday morning I'm dropping a podcast with the founder of a psilocybin church in Utah who got raided. His church is called Singularism. So this guy got arrested. They threw him in jail, and a federal judge went ate you know what on them. How dare you let this man out, give him his sacrament back? I'm going to strip you of your qualified immunity, and he can sue you for violating his constitutional rights. So, long answer to your short question, how did I come up with the idea for a church? I didn't. God did. And I trust him. So, God said, you know what, Matthew? Keep doing what you're doing, man. This was a sacrament to you. I lost my faith for decades, and I got it back as a result of these sacraments. I defended this Constitution for 15 years. I'm going to exercise my rights under it to religious freedom. Congress shall make what part of this is hard to understand? Congress shall make no law establishing a religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. That's how I started the church. So this will be our 6th retreat, and knock on wood, we haven't, to a person, everybody, I have 5 text threads on my phone every morning lighting up. Thank you, Wiz. Thank you, Susie. I discovered this. I feel like this. This is the way. I spoke at Harvard in November, Harvard Law School, about this. I just feel good. I feel good. It's part of my healing. Putting down the ladder to help other people heal is helping me heal. We're all on the same team, man. It's so sad. I think one of the reasons these compounds, they're sacred to me, are still Schedule 1 is because they can turn warriors into peacemakers. I've seen meat-eating, knuckle-dragging killers on the other side of the sacrament be mortified. And I remember how to be violent. You break into my house, but just, I never thought I'd be talking like a peacenik, but give peace a chance, man. We'll end on this high note. This isn't funny. It's the truth. If I could kidnap Zelensky and Putin and take them on a retreat, the war would be over with. And I guarantee you 90% of the people in this webinar just giggled a little bit. It's not funny. It's the truth. Whether it's Arrow or some of the other people who have sat in ceremony, they're shaking their heads right now because they know. Just like I told you about the Hamas and IDF dudes. You go on a retreat with a group. I went with Marcus Luttrell and JT, and we are 6 years later, we're texting each other every week. We check in. Peace would break out on this planet. I guarantee you. Joe took the words right from my mouth. I am the way, the life, and the truth. And the truth, because there is only truth, folks. There is only truth. And I got to experience that truth directly. There's a good episode. Man, I went way too long. My apologies, folks. But somebody asked why I started the church. Where is it? Episode 1. Here it is right here. What's the title? This is my, you want to hear a good rant? This is why I started the church. God, Sacraments, and Sovereignty. The founding of Sacred Warrior Fellowship Church. That's what we'll end on, folks. Everybody click that link right there. Morale. Who is the target audience for this retreat? Everybody who feels called. We help veterans. We help first responders. We help their families. We help civilians. Morale. This calls to you. Now, 6 years ago, Wiz, if I heard me talking like this, I would have given me a wedgie and taken my lunch money. That dude died on a mattress on the floor of a home in Mexico. This calls to you. If it ain't, it ain't. There's people who exited the room already, like, done with the beatnik stuff, I'm out. If it's calling to you, it is. And you wouldn't believe how many people on the other side of ceremony or sacrament go, dude, you were right. It wasn't. And then one day I was like, huh. And it was. So, long answer to your short question. Who is this for? Everybody who feels called. If you have to ask, it's probably you. Danny, I love that you just said that, my brother. I was going to try and put into words or something like that. It's so funny that you said that. If it is, it is. If it ain't, it ain't. Isn't this fun? I had a blast. I had a blast yesterday. I had a blast today. We're going to have a blast tomorrow. Solo Amazon will be tomorrow. We got one more day, but this is the last day of the free full throttle training. Okay. So go grab your annual membership before they're all gone. And then I'll open up the doors tomorrow to Solo Amazon. I'm going to go stretch my legs. I can't believe I've been sitting here for hours. I'm going to go outside, have some coffee. The replay will be on this page shortly. And we have 7 memberships left for full throttle. All right, I got to go. Have a great rest of your day. God bless you. Fights on. Namaste. And Basi, Basi. Basi means truth. I am the way, the truth, and the life. God bless. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Solo Amazon. Cheers.